the third socially distant bake experience. We're coming live to you from iGabantu Studios, and we're here to launch the M-PESA app, which had a very exciting launch this morning. So as you guys are talking to us, we want to hear from you as well. Please use the hashtag #TheFutureOfMoney on all the platforms. So that's on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram as well, if that's your preferred platform. We'd love to hear from you and what it is that you know, if you've got any questions, we've got a number of guys available here who are happy and able to answer your questions. So when you think about M-PESA, it's arguably the world's most valuable teenager. It's 14 years old. At this point in time, 30 million customers, 30 million users. They move 1 trillion shillings, of value in the course of about a year. And I did the math. So if I gave you 1 million shillings right now and told you to spend a minute, spend 1 bob every second, with 1 million bob, that's going to take you about 11 days. If I give you 1 billion shillings and you have to spend a shilling, you're spending a bob every second, that'll take you about 31 years. Do you want to hazard a guess how long it takes to spend 1 trillion shillings? It's not 300. It's not even 3,000. It's 31,000 years. That's the amount of value that is just basically moving all along, enabled by one platform. Arguably, at this point, Africa's most valuable brand as far as payments is concerned. So we have seen, so the other things you know about Safaricom, so there's Lipa and M-PESA, all these amazing services that you enjoy. They are now about, so initially, if you watch today's broadcast, when they were looking to do the Lipa and M-PESA till numbers, they were about 150 when they started. They dipped a bit, but in the course of a pandemic, those numbers actually doubled to 300,000 active people now using till numbers. So you can imagine that this platform has really come in and done amazing things for the Kenyan economy, the Kenyan consumer, and the Kenyan business at large. So we have, but I know you probably, you've heard me mention this TVC stories that, those are launched in the morning. Did you catch it? Because if you didn't, we've got a summary available for you just about now.
Just over 14 years ago, we launched M-PESA. Today, M-PESA is the largest fintech and digital ecosystem in Africa.
Our customers wanted much more. In turn, it has become necessary for us as Safaricom to shift our products from the old menu of star something hash to the smartphone age.
This morning, we're here to start the journey of the future of M-PESA. The M-PESA app empowers our customers to accomplish much, much more, whether in the hustle, at home, or from any place they are, from a point of convenience. We have designed the M-PESA app to offer you a modern, fun, and intuitive design, maximizing convenience and security. Once you download the M-PESA app, the first thing you will notice is that we have added security measures without sacrificing convenience. Still on convenience, when sending money, we have now innovated and created a request money feature. This request money feature came from our GSM service, Please Call Me. Now, you can actually do a Please Call Me on mobile money and on M-PESA.
Today, we are launching the next phase of this app. We are introducing a menu app functionality, empowering other businesses and organizations to offer their services on the app.
So today, if you want to travel on the SGR, you go into the M-PESA app, you go into the Discover options, you click on Madaraka Express mini app. From there, you'll be able to select the date of travel, the time of travel, and make the payment seamlessly through the mini app. Then you'll be taken back to the M-PESA menu.
Here at Safaricom, we are very excited about these innovations that will help us become a customer-obsessed, digital-first organization.
Ladies and gentlemen, the M-PESA Super App.
What an amazing launch. Like, they covered so much new ground here. And to help us understand a bit more about what it is that we're talking about this morning, I have with us, joining us on stage, Boniface Mungania, who's a payments tribe lead. Boni, socially appropriate greetings. Man, that's pretty exciting what you guys are up to, but also extremely challenging, I would like to think. Yeah, so, man, okay, so I know you got a bunch of really cool features that you want to talk about, but maybe you also want to say how's the day panned out for you?
Been a good one. Very excited about this app launch. We've been working on it for a couple of months now. But before that, we know that we've had a few technical challenges today with the M-PESA transactions, which now has been solved, and we sincerely apologize for that. The system is back up, and we are now processing transactions normally.
National. So this has been, I can imagine that has been quite challenging for, the rest of humanity, but we're glad to have our beloved platform back up. So I know you have a whole lot to take us through. So take it away, Boniface.
Thank you. Yes, so ladies and gentlemen, it's really a delight to engage you this evening on M-PESA Super App. And this morning, our CEO, Peter, and our Chief Financial Services Officer, Sitoyo, launched what you're calling M-PESA Super App. And we deemed the future of money is simple. So this evening, we get a chance to once more go deeper now and understand what really features are available, but also answer a few questions on how can it work for you as a customer. What features do you think will be very important for you? How can we make them even better in the coming days? And then we not just serve customers, but we have other partners, developers. As you saw earlier, we have many programs and this exciting feature that I would like to highlight. How can it work for you as a partner who is serving customers? Or how can it work for you as a business who would like to serve customers riding on the new capabilities that you've introduced today on the Super App? So later, we'll get a chance to hear from our partners who have already been the pioneers of what you're calling the mini apps. And later on, you get a chance to hear from Safaricom team, basically engaging you and answering questions that you might have about the app. So without further ado, I will go through some of the features just for our understanding. How are we, or what are some of the reasons behind some of the features you've seen today? And then how can you use them? For example, how can they make your life better? Or what should you expect when you go to a particular tab within M-PESA? So one of the things I would like to highlight is, as you have seen, for those who have downloaded the app, we are trying to make it as inclusive and as available to as many customers as possible. What could be one of the barriers that you're not able to use the app anytime is data. Either you're running out of data, or you do not have, or you have poor network coverage, data network coverage, or you simply want to keep your data off because perhaps there are apps running in the background that don't continue consuming your data, yet you want to keep this beautiful experience that is coming from M-PESA app. And so for this, we've introduced what you call the offline mode. Offline mode means you can access M-PESA app when you do not have data, or you can actually switch off data and access key services. This is one of its kind. It's not a technology you'll find with many apps today. It's a really great innovation that makes you enjoy the services as if you had data on, and we build a network that enables us to deliver that. So offline mode, how it works is very simple. If you do not have data, or you are switching off your data, what will happen is, if we notice that you're trying to make a transaction and your data is off, we request you to switch it to offline mode. When you switch to offline mode, you'll be able to access core services. Let me give you an example. If you have no data, you might have to revert to USSD or the same toolkit, and then you miss the chance to do a phone book lookup or paste the number of the recipient. So offline means every time you can use your app wherever you are, with or without data, with data on or with data switched off. This feature is only available to Android users. It's not available on iOS, but it's because the technology on the Android platform allows us to innovate and build that. Then the second thing is security. We have, since launch, have M-PESA on what you call the SIM toolkit, the small menu that you find on your phone. Very secure. And we appreciate what you've achieved. But one of the things that we want to do is now make the channel smarter and more engaging and open for more innovation. But we cannot forget that one of the biggest strengths of the SIM toolkit has been the security features. You saw us a couple of years ago, about 4, introducing a service that has allowed you to authenticate transaction without losing the security aspect of SIM toolkit, which we call now SDK push. Very popular, and I like the innovations that have been built around this particular feature. In-app billing and digital content, and it's available on USSD and apps. So what we've done is we kept the PIN feature, but securely built on the app, and then gone a step further and introduced what you call biometric authentication. This biometric authentication relies on the phone that you're using. There is inbuilt biometrics feature, whether it's facial recognition, fingerprint, and all that. And that is now integrated on the app, and you can use it. The way you secure your phone, you can now secure your transaction. You use authentication for login or authenticating transactions. That is one feature that you will see. But in addition to that, we have so many other security features in the background, purely to ensure that your app is secure, as it has been with the same toolkit. So that is as far as security and enabling this app accessible to as many users as possible. Then one of the things we really want to achieve with the app, and we want to help or engage our customers, is on user experience. At times, we've noticed that the channels you've been using before, they are not flexible enough to allow so many things that you as a customer or even partners have requested. So what we've done is we've looked at every single M-PESA journey and introduced, based on the feedback that we've been receiving, a more or a better user experience when you're making payments. So one of the things you'll be seeing is when you log in, all your transactions are on one page. It's very easy to click send. When you send money globally, or send to multiple. When you say pay, you're paying a bill, you're paying a merchant. So the transactions that you have used over years, and they're frequent to you, you find them on the landing page in a very simple way. Now, we've gone a step further, and we know one of the painful areas and one of the pain points that we need to address with evolution of our channels to make them more smart is minimizing erroneous transactions. And so what we've done is on the app, you can now have a number picked from your phone book. So we call this a phone book lookup feature, which means when you want to transact, either you want to pick the name or you want to search based on the name as you know it, or you have the mobile number of the person, you can pick that from the phone book instead of typing it. And that way, you're minimizing chances of making an erroneous transaction. I know it's very painful right now when you make money or when you send money to the wrong person and then you attempt to reverse. Some of them might have used it, and I know that's not a very good experience. We would like as much as possible to minimize those errors. In addition to that, you still see the Hakikisha feature, which enables you to confirm that this is the person that I'm sending money to. But let me even show you why the app is more desirable. If you try to send money via SIM Toolkit, we've attempted to enable you see the name of the recipient. But due to technical challenges around the USSD and the SIM toolkit, these are features that are mostly built either on the network or the phone. We are not able to bend so much to make it as flexible as possible. So at times when you want to confirm the name, you have to input a character, or a number, and then you click send. And in many cases, especially if you're in a hurry, you might think, if I press cancel, that transaction is cancelled. So you press cancel, and then the transaction is processed. Here, the Hakikisha pops up, shows you the name, and is a mandatory step which you have to verify. If it's the wrong name, you just cancel to cancel, okay to proceed the transaction. So that feature is available as a phone lookup and Hakikisha. Then we've gone a step further, and especially the business customers. At times you want to make mini payments, or it's that end of the month you want to clear, all these bills or the people send money to once in one single transaction instead of repeating it several times. So we introduced what is called send to many. This is a feature that enables you send money to multiple recipients in one transaction. You can pick all of them from the phone book. And even better is if you want to send a specific amount or one amount across all of them, you can just input the figure once. It will populate the same across. You confirm the name of the recipients, and then you can okay the transactions. One single authentication, and you get name presentment for each of them, and then the transactions are processed one by one, and you get confirmation on SMS for each of the transactions that you send. So that's send to multiple or send to many. That's how it appears on the app. Then we thought, why do people send money? Why do people make transactions? Is because there's a message you're trying to pass. And if you really follow the experience, you find that perhaps I send money and then I have to follow the text telling you this was supposed to be for this purpose. Or at times you just want to attach some emotion, happy birthday, or any other, anything that you want to attach, a description. So what we've done is we've introduced ability to add a description to a payment, and you can now attach a GIF. We have some really exciting GIFs already available for you that you can now attach on the payments. And as you know, this is one of the areas that will keep getting better. I can't wait to see how creative Kenyans will get around GIFs and attaching emotions to the send money process. Then when you send money, at the end of every transaction, there are three things that you're doing. One of them is to confirm to you, of course, that the transaction has been processed. But the next thing is to ask you, is there anything you like to do following these transactions? For example, would you like to save this as a number you send frequently? Would you like to add a reminder? If that's the case, that feature is there. You can either make it, remind me after 30 days to send money to this person, or remind me to request this person to send me money. And the third one is we are allowing you to categorize this transaction. You assign it the reason. And the purpose for doing this is because we are also creating for you this nice insight page where you can see and track how you're spending your money. You'll be seeing this even get better, where all the buy goods transactions are categorized for you. You don't need to worry whether the person I said was a hardware, it was a restaurant, it was a wines and spirit. We've done that for you, and we'll be able to pick those categories. But the output of this categorization is really more of guiding you with insights on how you spend your money. It's obvious that the next thing is how then can we apply this into budgeting and more important insights to you as a customer. And that's why you've seen this app is really focused on the consumer lifestyle. What do you do? Where do you spend your money? Would you like to understand this better? And all that. So in addition to sending money, we've introduced another very exciting feature. And I'll show you some of the use cases that you've already seen with the customers who are using it. It's called Request Money. Request Money, as our Chief Financial Services Officer highlighted earlier, was actually, we got that insight from our voice services of please call me. So what happens is I need to call me because I need to communicate with you. Either I have no airtime or perhaps you're not reachable. I can just drop you a please call me, and then you can dial back to call me. Now, we have introduced a similar feature now on M-PESA app is called request money. When you request money, what happens is you select the recipient mobile number and they will receive a link. This link will be delivered on SMS, and if they have installed the app, it will come like a notification. When they click, it will go straight to the processing page, where now you can just complete the transaction within a very simple or very few steps, as opposed to initiating this transaction from start. Let me give you something very, or a use case I've seen very interesting. This is being used for, this changa. We want to contribute as friends to buy, to pay for a nyama choma. I'm the principal, so I initiate the transaction. Then I request money from all of you, and we pull it together and make one payment from my phone. That's interesting, and this is Kenyans picking request money and applying it to their daily or their day-to-day use cases. So that's request cash feature. It's simple in that it does not require you to go back and initiate the transaction, and still comes with all these features we've talked around send money. Then, how do we make the transactions faster on the app? We've introduced two features here. One of them is called Scan QR, and the other one is called My QR. This is the difference. Scan QR is basically enabling you to scan so that you read either the mobile number or the mobile number and the amount of the person or the organization you're paying to. You'll be seeing now in every single Lipa na M-PESA outlet, you're going to rebrand and put the till number and a QR. Instead of manually keying that till number, just scan and it will read for you, and then you can proceed to put in the amount. Even gets better with some of the busy supermarkets and fast food outlets. What you're doing is we are rolling out what we call a dynamic QR. Dynamic QR basically has been added an extra step where, in addition to reading the till number, we actually input for you the amount. So when you scan a dynamic QR, all you need to put is your PIN number and the transaction is completed. So that is as far as Scan QR is concerned. But with that, this is not just a customer-to-business transaction. In many cases, customers pay to each other. As you saw last year, we introduced a product called Poch, which is meant to help individuals who are in business to separate personal and business transactions. But they remain as individuals and keep one mobile number. So you can actually send money to each other by scanning the other person's QR if they are in the same location. And we've allowed every customer now to be able to embed or to generate a dynamic QR by adding the amount that you want the person to receive. So let's say you visit a small outlet or a small merchant, a small business. They want to receive money from you. They just open my QR, enter the amount, and then they can ask you to scan it to make a payment. Quite exciting, and this really, it's much, much shorter than the process of going through, enter mobile number or enter till number, enter amount, and then you enter the PIN. Now, we are happy to confirm that the standards for this QR, they're available for our developers on how they can utilize or they can now integrate for customers either to scan them or they can integrate to their point of sale systems, and available, we'll be publishing it on our Daraja platform. M-PESA statements. So our customers will ask for statements either because they need to do reconciliation or there are places they want to take the statement, like microfinance institutions and banks. And so what you've done is on the landing page, we've given you like an infinity scroll. And then on top of that, we allow you to generate the statement as you want. You see a tab written See More. See More is basically introducing a feature that you've asked for, which was decommissioned a couple of years ago, which was called M-Ledger. And M-Ledger was allowing you to, group your transaction. You can search for transactions sent to one number, one paybill number. You can even use the name. So if you introduce that feature now under statements, and in addition to having these M-Ledger features, you can also export this statement in PDF, either to your email or you can share with the recipient. Then there's a bill manager. We introduced this last year, where we allow billers to push bills to you, or you can actually save your frequent bills or cyclic bills, and when it's that time, you get a reminder, you click and pay. The bill manager now has been introduced under pay bill and available, but even more exciting is that We've a different service we introduced last year, which is called the Bill Manager Portal, which enables our smaller businesses. Take, for example, you own some flats and you have 100 tenants. You don't need to send them SMSs to remind them that it's time to pay. You can actually get the portal, which is available for free to all pay bill partners, and generate your invoices, and they'll find them on the Bill Manager where you find any other bill, your DSTV, your Kenya Power, your rent, your school fees. And this will really be a very important feature, not just to remind you, but also to enable you make transactions faster. And next is also to deliver for you the receipts when you make payments. Every single M-PESA transactions today, you'll be able to download a PDF receipt that you can share. When you go to the petrol station or other outlets that have labeled M-PESA, I know it's very annoying when you're asked to show the message that you've paid. And other customers will tell you, if you send money, just forward me the message. This includes balances, this includes Fuliza, and is not the best experience we could offer. Now, we're enabling every single customer. When you make any transaction, you can download the transaction, which is nicely done. We filter out the information that is not required, and you can forward it via WhatsApp, via email to the recipient to confirm that you actually made the transaction to them. Then, when you land on the login page, what do you see? Your two balances available. That is your M-PESA wallet balance and Fuliza limit that you can use. So even before you spend, you are aware that this is the amount I have to make this particular payment. So we've introduced the two balances in one page, but you also acknowledge or understand that you might need privacy, especially if you're transacting in public. So you can hide your balances and you can hide your statements and unhide them every time you feel like. And then a step further, we had airtime, buy airtime on SIM Toolkit, which has come with a lot of conveniences. You can buy your airtime anytime from wherever. And so what we've done on the app, we've made it even better. We've introduced one tab that is dedicated to buy airtime, but now introduce buy data bundles. And when you go to data bundles, we give you the full experience. Select the data, the package, the bundle that you want, and for which category, the expiry or no expiry, buy for myself or buy for others. That is now available under buy airtime and data tab. Now, let's talk about the cards that you're seeing on the landing page. And if you look at your friend's phone, the card might have actually a different color from what you have. This card is linking to the tab number 3 on the app, which is called My Spend. And what we've done is we try to summarize for you the transactions that you have done in one simple place. And we try to help you understand actually which services you use more with the color code. So as you transact, you move to Fuliza, you see it's more blue. You more send money, you see it's coming to orange. And those colors will keep changing. We thought that's a way of visualizing the services that you're using more. But when you swipe that card, it takes you now to an inside page where you can see nice graphs of where you're sending money and categorization of these features. So that is as far as My Spend is concerned. I talked about it earlier. Every transaction you categorize, every buy goods transaction will be categorized for you, and you can find a very nice output on My Spend tab. Then, as I highlighted earlier, Peter mentioned about mini programs and mini apps, and this is one area that developers will be very excited about. This is a new technology that we're introducing, and it's not deep linking. It is actually building a real small app, which then is carried on M-PESA app. So we are calling that tab Discover Marketplace. When you go to Discover, you'll find the services you love on that page. And today, we have opened this to a couple of partners. We'll be speaking to some of them in a few minutes to tell you their journey and what they expect from this. But Mini Apps enables our partners to build an experience which connects back to their services, and they embed it on M-PESA as a mini app. And you can go in and access the services of the partners, with M-PESA authentication. And to the partners, they can reach all the customers that have downloaded this app. Then finally, there's a feature that you'll find called Grow, or there's a tab called Grow. This is as simple as the name goes, Grow. When you go there, we want you to grow as a customer. And it's more of the tools that will empower you, not just making payment transactions. And for a start, we've started by consolidating services from our partners who have introduced credit. And you will agree with me that these partnerships have really driven financial inclusion. First time a loan was accessed via mobile with remote KYC back in 2012, 2013, the first mobile-based overdraft. So these are the services that are more focused on empowerment and financial health, and it can only get better. That's the tab called Grow. So there are so many other features that I would have liked to highlight, but you'll be discovering them as you transact. So ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the highlights of the features that you'll find on the app today when you download. As Ito mentioned earlier, there's an incentive running. You download, you get a data bundles. And for those who are going to use one of the mini apps that we've talked about, which is Madaraka Express, you get 10% cash back. And then every 10th customer to download the app gets 500 shillings cash back. So I will now introduce some of the partners who have built mini apps, and they'll tell us about their experience. One of the partners that we have is a company that we've worked with for quite some time. I like the energy when they first built a service for Madaraka Express, and this was after the train was introduced and customers were queuing at Syokimau to book tickets. This is BuuPass. We've announced 2 partnerships with them already. And I will now invite a representative from BuuPass, Sonia, to tell us how the journey has been building the app, what's the expectations, and how do you find experience on the mini app. Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I am Sonia Kabra, co-founder and co-CEO at BuuPass. And as you mentioned, Bonnie, we have had a very long relationship with Safaricom since 2016, actually. And our relationship is more than just technical. I think our relationship capital is very huge. In fact, a lot of people don't know, but we were introduced to the late Bob Collymore by President Clinton in New York. And Bob really saw the potential in us and mentored us when we were just 22 years old, fresh grads out of college. And since then, we have built services for SGR and buses. Safaricom has helped us to bring bus operators online.
Marcon, M-Ticket. Amanda.
And then we are also very aligned with CEO Peter's vision of bringing inclusive digital innovation. We have learned a lot from the Safaricom team as a very young company, both in product, tech, marketing, cybersecurity. And it has pushed us to deliver great products. I was so happy that the SGR Madaraka Express app was featured today morning. So when we got the opportunity to be featured as one of the first mini apps, we were very excited. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Access to millions of Safaricom subscribers at once and bringing our products faster to the market. Those are some of the major benefits. And at BuuPass, our vision is seamless movement for people, and our mission is to work with transport operators to make accessible and seamless products. And the mini app is so seamless in so many ways, and it clearly aligns with our vision. And bringing beautiful user experience to our customers through the mini app is another great advantage that we have seen. My product team has also been very happy with the kind of independence you get with the mini app development experience. And it's also, seen in the kind of development frameworks that Safaricom and M-PESA have chosen to build the mini app. In terms of the future plans that we have plans of bringing more and more travel and transport services within the BuuPass mini app, such as flights, making it truly accessible. We are super excited to be partnering with Safaricom. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Really excited. And as you confirmed earlier, every ticket bought via Madaraka Express for this launch, we are giving our customers a 10% cashback. Now, next we go to Mark. Mark Naivasha Raleigh, or the WRC, it's here. You confirm to us whether the tickets are available on M-Tickets. So how has the experience been, and what are expectations on the M-Tickets mini app that we've published so far?
Thank you, Boniface. I think once again, I would say thank you it has been a great journey for us as M-Tickets, given that it has enabled us also to fast track how much you can pick up technology, especially given the event platform. M-Tickets is basically a premium event product that basically helps clients to have an efficient, effective way to, one, book their events, plus also give a very convenient way to actually engage with any product that they will be looking to do. And as Boniface, you said, yes, we are one of the partners who we're working with WRC also to make this event memorable. But definitely we continue to also improve. Even on the post-pandemic, we know that people are looking to have a lot of convenience in how they engage with the products. We do know that in this new generation, we also have very impatient, what you call consumers. That means if you can ease their journey on how they make transaction, be it on booking any events, then that will help also them it will help them be able to interact with the products better and be able to stick with your product. So definitely this partnership helps us to leverage on the big subscriber base that Safaricom has, as well as the innovations or the innovative spirit that has been felt across, especially using the M-PESA mini app.
Thank you very much, Mark. We look forward to seeing your mini app grow. This really, it's very much focused on day-to-day events and activities, and we look forward to that. So our first mini app, and that's why I left it for last. It was a very exciting mini app. When we were publishing it, I wasn't sure that the team is ready, or the team was ready then, and we really took time to publish it because we thought this is full e-commerce on our app, and this is the ProGas team. They were the first to publish a mini app on M-PESA, a very exciting mini app. One of the things you notice is their color stand out and really answers the question of what happens when I go to Safaricom? What happens to my brand? It remained as ProGas, and it's a really exciting feature. It's one of the most exciting mini apps we have today, and the first one. So I invite Amanda to tell us about ProGas, how the experience has been, and how what feedback are they getting from customers who have already started using that mini app to purchase their product.
Thank you so much, Boniface. We're very excited to be with you today, and I'm glad to be on the panel with Mark and Sonia, who have two amazing products that they've brought onto the platform as well. But yeah, we were very excited to be the very first mini app that launched with you guys a couple months back, and it's been an amazing journey. Our team of developers worked incredibly hard to put together an experience for our end users to be able to have a seamless transaction and getting LPG, cooking gas, delivered directly to their home. And we've seen a kind of transformation in the relationship with our end users through the interactions that we've had thus far with M-PESA and our mini app that's located within your Discovery tab. So what we're looking at is we want to really reach out to our end user, provide an opportunity for them to order their gas directly to their home. We have an amazing network of retail valued partners that we work with every day, and this is an extension to that experience. They're allowed to have the menu, they're able to their gas, and then it's delivered directly to their door within 30 minutes. And the payment process, thanks to the innovations that you guys have put forth, is seamless. So it's been an amazing opportunity for us. The response has been overwhelming. Customers really enjoy the interaction and the ease of use of it. And it's been exciting to birth this with you guys, and we're excited of what's to come. We've had some fantastic response today as you guys have gone live, and we look forward to really growing the product together with you guys in this partnership.
Thank you so much, Amanda, and we look forward to seeing more engagement from your customers, and we even deliver better experience in the coming days. So, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that we didn't mention, and I left it as one of the things we mentioned last, is that this app is for consumers. And we actually have a similar app that we launched last year for businesses, which has been very interesting and very exciting for the users. You'll be seeing what you've seen now from the front runners, the mini apps that we've deployed. We are now opening that capability on the business app for you to publish tools for businesses. Now, as we close, another thing is to confirm, because the next question we'll be asking is then, what can we expect from this app? What's in the pipeline? I don't want to answer that question, but I can confirm to you that this app is being delivered in Agile. That means you're expecting more releases more frequently, more improvements more frequently. But before, and this is how we close, I want us to hear from one of our customers, or one of our business customers who has been using our other app for business, on how the experience has been so far.
My name is Kinoti Kajume. I'm an entrepreneur and a marketing consultant. My business is in the retail segment. We do have several numerous number of outlets in Nairobi by the name Shere, Liquor, and TID stores. As an entrepreneur, my day is very engaging and very demanding. First, we normally check on our employees. Secondly, we look at the previous day sales, making sure that everything went well. We use the M-PESA application. Most of us use it for paying our suppliers, daily reconciliations, and it also gives us information on what to convey to our partners also. Personally, the M-PESA app has made my life simple and easy in several ways. First of all, it has helped me send money to many people at once, and what I do with that is I send the incentives for my employees at once and they receive them at the same time. Secondly is that having a very sharp son, he normally sends requests using funny GIFs for whatever he needs, mostly takeout, and I just approve on my side and he receives the money and he's good to go. The application has made our lives easy just by a tap of your finger and you're using the app, which is a very good thing. My personal goals is one is to go into the manufacturing. I've realized there's so many guys, young guys who have talents. And my goal is to employ these people so at least they can have a livelihood.
Well, that was quite an informative session from Boniface. Now, I'd like to encourage you guys to really reach out to us. I need you to be, so if you're looking to tweet, you can reach us on the hashtag, the future of money. Please engage us, give us some information. You know what, I'll make it worth your while. I mean, you know, so there's always something in it for you when you come to a big event. And so if you give me some really dope engagement and I like what kind of vibe you're throwing at us, I have an M-PESA gift, I've got an M-PESA hamper with your name on it for the guys who really give me the highest kind of engagement. Now, I'm going to be announcing the winners of that right after the second panel that we have. So stay tuned. Come on, keep tweeting, share, tell me what it is that you guys are thinking about. If you've got questions for any of the panelists, please just share them up in front so that we can get a chance to engage the people and see what it is that we can do. So now I'd like to kind of briefly recap quite a bit, and because Boniface went through a lot. So if you're looking at some of the really amazing features that are now a part of your M-PESA experience, one, offline mode. Now, you've all been at some point in a supermarket, you figured the till, you whip out your thing, the app at that particular point in time has got no data, and then you're all there swarming at the front of the queue, embarrassing yourself. No. So now Safaricom has actually heard your plea to stop being the embarrassment that you could possibly be, and now enable you to make these transactions without necessarily having an online connection. So that's one of the really cool features that is now available. Security. You now, in addition to having a PIN, have able to use biometrics. So if you've got, so Helen of Troy had a face that could launch 1,000 ships. Maybe yours could unlock 1,000 shillings. Whichever it is, you now have various ways of being able to authenticate yourself before a transaction is made. There's been a number of user experience improvements made, primarily focused around reducing the number of errors one would make by keying in the wrong number or just accidentally not being able to select the person you're trying to send money to. So that's another key improvement that has come out from M-PESA as well. Now, if you are a person of sending money to the squad, so you want to send to many, but just use one transaction with only one authentication, that's a new feature available for you to do straight off the M-PESA app. If you're looking to make, like personal description, so if you're looking to do a transaction and personalize it a bit, it was Father's Day. It would have been very nice as a father of offspring to have received a message from my little one saying, "Daddy, you're the best, hugs." And then immediately after that, they'll probably send a request that I send the money back because that is the relationship we have. I am the chief financier of the home, and I'm sure this is not something that is isolated to me alone. There's also payment categorization. So if you're making your transactions on a day-to-day basis, the app starts to learn what it is that you do with your money and begins to show you in a very pictorial, very easy-to-read graph what your spending habits look like, and you know how it is that you can spend your money if you've got goals that you're working towards. Of course, now there's request money. As far as I'm concerned, that is really a fascinating, it's an absolutely dope feature. And so you're able to request the cash, which means that now I, for the first time ever, can ask fare of my beloved. So, to my fare, by the way, madam, as I'm leaving here. Well, we covered a whole lot more over and above that, but I think we should move directly into the first panel. And I'd like to introduce the four people that will be joining us. And, this is an excellent-looking bunch of people. I have with me Isaac Ashugu, who is a tech tribe lead of the payments tribe from Safaricom PLC. There's also Carol Njagwa, who's a product owner, the Consumer Payments Safaricom PLC. There is Felix Karuna, who's a product manager of the M-PESA app. And there's Sonia Cabra, the co-founder and co-CEO of BuuPass. Karibuni sana. I hope you guys are having a really dope evening with all the new and exciting stuff that's coming up. So let me start with my first question. This one should be taken by you. I think I'll take this one to Isaac. So if I am launching an app, so now you guys have told me I can actually create a new service and start to have customers come over to me. How do I get my app listed on the M-PESA app?
So thank you for the question. So and I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's quite simple. We have an email address that currently you write to. Mm-hmm. It's M-PESA mini apps. It's safaricom.co.ke. I'll paste that in the chat that you can share.
Awesome. Now, so I have a question here from one of our viewers, Bogochega, who's asking, what determines the listing of my apps? And if the apps I prefer not to use, can I move them out? Can I sort out my apps and put them to the top so that I access the ones I frequently access and then the other ones can be browsed on later? Is that feature currently available?
So when it comes to mini apps listing, I think what you look at is there's of course the governance. M-PESA is regulated by Central Bank of Kenya, so we need to make sure there's no conflict in the kind of mini apps that are being put up on our channel, because at the end of the day, we are ultimately responsible for that. That's why currently we are putting it as an email process. We'll be publishing the actual portal that will allow more scalability and more people to come on board. And then we have enhanced the governance rules and the kind of applications that we can and that we can't take, more like what Google Play Store does, and automating the whole process.
Oh, excellent. My next question is to Sonia. And I guess my question for you would be, how has this app, the use of mini apps, improved your customers' experience? How does it make it easier for your operations? Could you share some highlights around that, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hi. So the customer experience has definitely improved, and starting from how we developed the app, the stack chosen by the M-PESA team gave us more flexibility to innovate within the app. And we were also guided a lot by the Safaricom team and the M-PESA team on how we can make our experience much, much better. We really appreciate the flexibility of using something like JavaScript to dynamically implement the user journey. And right now with the 10% cashback and all the marketing happening, we are just getting more and more bookings. So it's really going to help us unlock the next phase of growth for BuuPass.
Well, congratulations to BuuPass for being a launch partner. I can imagine that has got very amazing windfalls for you in this particular situation. My next question goes to you, Felix. Is there ever going to be a web version of this thing? Because we have, nowadays, as you notice, like for many apps, you probably have Twitter on your app, there's probably a web version. So is there some point in the near future we can look forward? Is there some time we can look forward and have a situation where we'll see a web version? Oh, Felix, I'm going to ask you to turn on your mic, please. Unfortunately, not at the moment. There might be a slight hitch over there. So let me just jump over to Carol. Carol, for you, the question is around data protection. We have situations where customers who have had the situation or the experience of going over to an establishment using the till number or the pay bill, and then you'll notice that after a while you start to get unwanted promotional messages, or the message or the information that transaction's details are used for other purposes that you didn't necessarily sign up for. So I assume that one of the really big improvements for the overall M-PESA experience is that the data I provide will only be used for payments. Is there something to kind of help with the data protection aspect of this? I'm sorry, Carl, are you able to get me? Oh, okay. Sorry, Carol. I think there's a slight hitch on your side, but as that is being fixed, Felix, I understand you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
Oh, great. Okay, great to hear from you. So, yes, where's our web version of M-PESA, please?
So that's something we're still looking into. I think the challenge on web is to ensure that our customers' money remains secure. And there's a lot of security, especially security challenges on having financial services on the website. So it's something we are reviewing internally. Once we're able to ensure our safety of our customers' money, then we will definitely be on web.
I have another ask of you, Felix. Many platforms now give you the option to download or to request all your data at once and have a copy of that you can then store offline for whatever purposes you wish. do we see a situation where I might be able to get my entire M-PESA history, as one available download? Is that something that will be possible?
Yeah, that's something we are currently reviewing. I think currently we have a couple of months when you check on the M-PESA app, when you go to either the My Spend tab or on the new version of the app on the home screen, you're able to get, I think on my app I saw today, until the beginning of 2020. So it's a process of going and adding all your data, but that is definitely something that we are working on and trying to see, because we want customers to have as much of the data as possible on the app. So that is definitely something we are looking into and reviewing, and how we can best expose that information to our customers.
Okay. I find that very
because in the end, it's their data at the end of the day.
I completely agree. It's my data, my transactions, and my poverty. Carol, you were saying something about the ability for us to have some sort of data protection because of all these transactions that we're making. We've got exposing some of our data to third-party people. What kind of plans would you guys have around the data protection aspect of things?
As regards data protection, in terms of transmitting customer details to for example, our merchants or partners, or to other parties that you're making payments to. It's something we are looking at, and we've already started the process. So we have products that currently, when you make payments to, data is not transmitted to the other party. One example is when you do a transaction at an M-PESA agent, they don't get your information, they just get your names. We are doing that progressively because we are aware that even how our merchants have done integrations on their end, some of them use the customer's number as to what they have built to integrate into their payments. So it's work in progress, working in collaboration with partners so that we make sure we don't break anything. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I know that has been one of the more significant pain points for most M-PESA users, where you have the experience of doing one transaction and then immediately receiving a bunch of marketing messages that they did not opt in for. So I am looking forward to a situation where we can freely transact without worrying about people then using that data for transactions we didn't actually ask them to do. Back to you, Isaac. Is there any particular category of applications that may not be allowed? So if you want to do a Kenyan version of Tinder, because love is hard to find in this Nairobi, as you realize, it's a cold season, it can be commercialized as is there some kind of restrictions around what it is that we can put together that would be allowable on your platform?
So at the moment, any legal application is a candidate to be put on our mini apps. I think the thing is, we don't want to delegate that responsibility to every third party out there. So we want to be in control of that. But currently, as long as an app is legal and can be published on any Play Store, then the same content can be published on M-PESA.
Kwa hivyo, so Upendo Motomoto will be coming soon.
Push Upendo Motomoto.
I just need to get my app authorized, which I believe that our good friends at Safaricom want to encourage the people to come together to create more customers, literally. My next question is, I guess, everybody who's been, and I'm not sure who, maybe Felix will take this one. We've all had a situation where you've been at the till or at a fuel pump and you've pulled out your phone. I have walked out of the house many days without my wallet because I figure that my money is already on my phone. So in those situations where, you get over and that day, for whatever reason, things have happened and M-PESA is not available, what kind of safeguards are we putting in to make sure that, because now you basically have M-PESA as an essential service. What kind of safeguards are you putting to make sure that it doesn't, have outages? That has been a very commonly requested question today, sadly.
Yeah, so I know we had outages earlier, so apologies to people caught off by that. But M-PESA, the aim of M-PESA is to be 99% available and 100% if possible. So on the M-PESA app is built on the core M-PESA platform, so we also aim to keep its availability stability of customers. We have been testing this app for a while, I think since with our customers, and they've been giving us feedback, and every time there's a downtime we usually get that feedback from them a lot. So we have improved a lot on the stability from when beta of the app in January until now. I think we have had some teething issues along the way, but we have confidence on the stability going forward. Also, this is just to thankful for the customers on their feedback in the beta process, just even pushing us to ensure that these services are available, because we see M-PESA is a very significant part of our economy, and when it's down, we always see the effects that customers go on days like today. So I think that is one of the key components of the app. And not just the app of M-PESA in general, whichever channel you choose to use. So I think that is I think covered, and we strive to improve that day to day, so that days like today then don't happen again in the future.
Well, thank you, Felix. And holding you to that, now that we have a face to put to the promise. Maybe my last question for this particular session will go to Carol. And this one is a really soft one, but an important one. Of all the really cool features that have come out today, what's the one that excites you the most? No pressure.
For me, what excites me the most is sending money with a description. So I can personalize my transactions. I can attach a GIF when sending money or add a description. Maybe the other one I can mention about is the mini apps. I'm a fan of events, so having an event company available as a third-party mini app on our end is quite exciting. It means I get to know what is happening around the country and get my tickets at the click of one app. That is the M-PESA Super App.
All right, and now I'd like to thank you very, very much for your contributions and your most insightful observations to the panelists. So thank you very much, Sonia, Felix, Carol, and Isaac. And we look forward to seeing what else this particular amazing app can do. So we've got something else, right? Yeah, so up next, we've got the what? Oh yes, this is a video. Coming up next on the screen next to you is, oh yeah, so we've got we've got many professionals who use M-PESA on a day-to-day basis. And here's the story of one of them.
My name is Emily Sialo-Wantai. I'm an ICT professional, and I'm a mom of 2 wonderful kids, and I work at a children's organization in the IT department. A typical day in my life is I wake up in the morning, I make sure that everything is fine for my kids before I go to work. When I go to work, I have to make sure that everything that is expected of me, I do. And when I come back home, I make sure that family is also okay. My goals and ambitions right now is to keep progressing, and one day I wish that I will become an entrepreneur and have my own business, and I'm really moving towards that for the moment. I use the M-PESA application, and I use it to track my transactions, be it sending money, receiving money, checking my balances. They have great mini apps like ProGas, which I use to order gas from right in my desk, and also I can be able to book SGR for either leisure or professionally. The feature I enjoy the most is probably the life balance, because I'm able to track everything that I do. I'm able to even see the expenditure that I've done on a monthly basis, on a daily basis. Using the app has made my life simpler in that I can be able to track my savings using M-Shwari, which is really helpful because I need to plan on what I need to do in terms of things like school fees, growing my business, which I want to do very soon, and to plan on how I'm going to be able to use it.
So as you can see, professionals are able to use this application to grow themselves in different ways. You've seen them able to grow their savings using the saving products. You're also able to see what your spend is so that you can figure out what kind of cuts or adjustments you need to make to your day-to-day budgets. And of course, There are also a bunch of other cool features that I think Boniface had also touched on initially. So now you've got QR services. You can scan a QR code to be able to make a payment. You can create your own QR code and then have people scan that to be able to, transact with you. So you've got a whole lot of really cool new services coming online. And especially now for the entrepreneurs, one of the things that the new M-PESA for Business app also does is that it gives you the ability to generate invoices for people who make payments to you on a regular basis. So for all the IG entrepreneurs who are now growing up, if you're trying to start to grow your new skills, so if you guys are looking to grow your skills, you're trying to grow up a base, trying to be able to improve your money, your money skills, you definitely now have a platform that grows with you as your business begins to grow. Oh, and of course, being able to see all your balances on one screen within the new M-PESA app makes it very easy for you to, at a glance, see what your current available balance is. If you full user, then you're also able to see what your available balance is, which completely helps you make the decisions on the fly for whatever it is that is happening around you. And so coming up next, we're going into a second panel. Once again, I'd like to encourage you guys to tweet to us, please. The hashtag that we're using is the future of money. Like I said, there are some M-PESA hampers with your name on it if you engage us and give us some of the, so share what it is that you're hearing, what it is that you're excited about, the questions that you have, if you've got any other aspects that you've got concerns around. We'd love to hear from you. So please, use the hashtag, the future of money, and take me through what your M-PESA journey has been thus far. So we've got our next panel is coming online, and these are a set of very engaged young professionals, all very pretty, including the gentlemen. Gentlemen are now pretty. This is now the new lifestyle. So we are joined here by, let me just quickly go through we're joined here by Mwende Ngao. She is a blogger and the founder of Zeda Magazine. We are joined also by Nixon Kagari, who's a blogger and the founder of techtrends.co.ke. We have Saruni Maina, who's the blogger and founding editor of gadgets-africa.com. And Rehab Gashango, who's a blogger and the founder of potenthash.com. Karibuni, good people.
Thank you.
Right. As a fellow blogger, I am... Question number one, and I think for this one, I would want to take this up with... Let me take this up with the two people already doing some interesting things in media. So, Mwende, hi. You are in the business, so in the process, you've been a content creator, you've been on video, you've been doing writing, you've done a whole bunch of very creative endeavors. What are your thoughts around integrating M-PESA into your creative business? What kind of opportunities do you see for yourself?
I think it's about time, first of all. I was very excited to find out about the app. Because at this point, when they're saying M-PESA is a lifestyle app, it's true. Because we even use it to mean send money. When you say I'm going to M-PESA, even if you're using a completely different maybe carrier. So I'm very excited about the app and the possibilities within the app. So the two things that I think are important for me when it comes to the app is, one, is it intuitive, and two, is it convenient? Because I'm doing all things a lifestyle, and so it makes no sense for it to be a lifestyle app and it doesn't integrate into your lifestyle. So it has to be intuitive and convenient. So those two things so far have checked out. Then and when it comes to your question, I think the opportunity so far that I'm seeing is just that I'm really busy. So, of course, the fact that it's really easy to use. And then two, I was looking through and I'm seeing all these ways to integrate into business, whether it's the invoicing or being able to quickly just follow, the cash flow of your business. I think that's really exciting. And it's just making it easier for you to be able to run a business because, like I said, I'm busy, so I don't want to spend a lot of time having to go over. I think one of the things that I've never really been a fan of is having to wait for statements and things like that. This is so intuitive, and so I'm really excited that this is finally becoming a reality.
Oh man, thanks, Mwende. My next one is to Rehab. You have been charting various, blazing new paths in the front of fashion, but I also know from, our own personal interactions that you do have, people in diaspora, there are international remittances that you make, and now you've got this app with the ability to send money and receive money from across the world. What's been your experience so far?
My experience has been great, especially for me because I do about 98% of my transactions are on M-PESA. I think the only 2%, which is paying the matatu, or sometimes, when you run out of bread and you need to go to the kiosk, that's the only time I use cash. So 98% of my transactions are on M-PESA. Then I'm really excited because this M-PESA app has PayPal. For me, generally, most of the time, I have to spend a lot of time online, sometimes on my blog, checking how do I send money from M-PESA to PayPal? How do I put money from PayPal to my own account? So having now that it's seamless, that even the other day I just sent myself money from PayPal has been really exciting because now it's a one-stop shop for me. That's I think one of the most exciting things for me. As creatives, a lot of us use we have both payments that are being done from here or PayPal, so it helps. It's very helpful to me that I don't have to go to the PayPal app to actually get my money back. So that's really exciting for me. And I know also exciting for a lot of people who receive payments and also for buying and selling things, because I buy things using my PayPal account because it's very easy to... PayPal has this thing where it's easier to dispute any transactions done from your account. So it's also easier for me to move my money from M-PESA to PayPal and make my transactions.
Awesome. Nixon, you're the bleeding edge of tech. So I imagine, part of what it is that you do encompasses the need to review various gadgets, the need to kind of look around and see what is happening in the tech world. So when you look at this development, where we begin to see M-PESA being decoupled from the SIM card and beginning to become accessible across multiple ecosystems, what are your thoughts?
Thanks. I think one of the things most of us were really waiting for is actually when we are going to have such kind of development. I mean, for us, for example, let me say me and Saruni, we are in tech. And, we review devices because we love them and because they make our lives easier. And I think this is what, the new M-PESA app is doing with us. I mean, we are waiting to see where we can get an app that actually features everything. Like the M-PESA, we can do all the M-PESA transaction all within a single app. Yeah, without having to switch, in between apps. Yeah, and I think for this new development, I think it's a good, especially for us, especially in this age, cashless and all that. So yes, I think we're really looking forward to this, and actually can't wait to see. In the morning when Sito was talking, I remember during the press briefing, I asked him, what future developments you are waiting to see. Within the app, especially after, their last, partnership with Visa, they announced, a while back. And I think you mentioned how, moving forward, you're going to be seeing a lot of other new developments within the app. Yeah. So actually, for us, it's really exciting, and we can't wait to actually, keep interacting with the app and seeing what new development, what new features that keep introducing. But for now, this is actually really encouraging.
Saruni, how is your day going?
Quite chilly, but it's going well.
You see, that is what I was saying. Like when we create these apps that allow us now to request some basa, some love, and fair, there's a lot of very exciting, features available to us. But now tell me, Saruni. So as a guy who's also at the cutting edge of tech, seeing where it is that these platforms are developing and how it is that they're becoming fully integrated into our lives. What would be some of the concerns that you see around what it is that is shaping up, and what kind of mitigations would you propose, to kind of meet them?
All right. So on the part of concerns, I think a lot of issues that arise with mobile money, and not just M-PESA itself, is usually around social engineering. And to be honest, there is nothing much that can be done on the part of the owner of the platform. In this case, let's say Safaricom and M-PESA Africa. But I think what now should be the next step is in that now the app itself, like the new M-PESA app, has a few more steps that allow us to be able to access the service without necessarily relying on, the SIM card, which means that if I don't have my SIM card on my phone, I can still use the M-PESA app, and also means that it lessens the likelihood of people actually being able to social engineer me and then do a SIM swap and probably access my M-PESA. I think there's also quite a lot that also needs to be done in terms of education, just alerting people that this is how the platform works, this is how things work, this is how mobile money works. You're not supposed to share your PIN. No one should be able to ask you for a PIN. I think public education is what is missing right now, and I think is what should be done more of, just for us to be able to reach to that extra mile in terms of security while using mobile money.
So I think this next one is a fairly general question, so maybe I'd want each one of your takes on this. You live and make your living off as content creators. Now, quite often, especially within the Kenyan ecosystem, the content tends to be paid for. So there's always a sense that there might be some bias. If I give you a phone and I tell you to write about it, the fact that you give me a phone means that you might give me some bit of a skewed thing. And now there's opportunity possibly to reach out directly to your audiences and tell them, if each one of you are to changa 50 bob, 30 bob, whatever the case may be, or have a subscription model of sorts, not only do you then improve the quality of what it is that you're able to put out, but you can have it as sort of, completely unbiased. So what are your thoughts? Top of your heads. This is so, like, now that you've got a platform that allows you to have, you can register, you can be an entity with a pay bill and everything else and subscriptions. If that were to happen, what are the possibilities you see opening up for yourself? And I'll start with the ladies, of course. So, Mwenda Bibi? No pressure.
Yes. Okay, that one, you struck a nerve there, when you're talking about that. That is true that there tends to be a lot of conversation around whether content creators who get sponsored ads are able to be completely unbiased. I won't say yes or no on that. I will say that generally I believe that, that's why we try to all be ethical. Even though we may get paid for some content, I will say that I personally know myself and a lot of other content creators are ethical and do tell the truth, or try to tell the truth as much as possible when it comes to the content that you're creating. Because at the end of the day, we care about our audiences and we want them to have the best the best information that they can get. So, that's that.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what the
Sam, like you said, there is a lot of opportunity there because, you've seen already some of the mainstream media guys have gone subscription-based. So that is something that I personally have been thinking about for my other entities that are in terms of, people be interested in paying for that content. It is something that I've been considering. And of course, even just looking at the digital space in general, there is, that's sort of the direction a lot of media entities are going in and content creators are going in. And even the platforms are starting to support that kind of thing, whether it's Twitter or Facebook, etc., where there's this sort of rollout of subscription opportunities. And so I do think that then M-PESA is sort of, it's in the right path in terms of subscription. So I am looking at it as an opportunity, and I definitely am even experimenting and seeing what happens. So I am going to experiment and see if that's something that I can use, not just for content, but even for a bunch of other things that I'm trying to roll out, and just see if it works. But I kind of think that it probably will, and it's pretty exciting to see the possibility.
of time, I'll have to cut it back, and so I'll have one of the gents take it. So, Saruni? Saruni, you've been thwarted by technology. For some reason, I can't hear you.
Sorry. And now?
Oh, he's on now. Okay, all right. So, yes, sorry. You're back. Thank you. Now tell me.
Yeah, technology issues. So I think for me, and also maybe I'd be speaking for Nick as well, since we are pretty much in the same line of work, I think what we are actually excited about and looking forward to, and that's why Nick specifically mentioned Visa, is just M-PESA going global, which would mean then it opens up more opportunities for us. That means that, let's say, for example, we do make a lot of purchases when it comes to devices and gadgets all over. And so if we are able to do those international transactions just from our phones, just through M-PESA, I think that would be amazing. And also the fact that now M-PESA works without being attached to the SIM card. Again, I know I've mentioned this before, but this means that even while you're traveling, it will be possible to be able to complete transactions, something that we weren't able to do before. So that's quite the exciting part about the next journey of M-PESA, and I really can't wait for M-PESA to get to the stage that PayPal is at, So yeah.
Awesome. I think I want to thank you guys for your most insightful responses. You're doing some very excellent work, blazing a trail in making sure that people actually make a living from content. This wasn't a career path that was viable 10 years ago, but here we are. And we're really, really proud of you guys for blazing this particular trail. So keep on going on. And for those of us who are in the audience, who might be students, wondering, how does this thing then, what kind of impact this would have for me? Here's a story from one student. Yeah.
2 years old, and I'm a campus student. Campus life is very interesting. I'm a marketing major in my last year, so I'm looking forward to finish. Of course, right now, because of COVID, we have to do it from home. I have the M-PESA app, and I must say it helps me to do a lot of things. As a student, I live away from home, so I use the request money feature to ask for money from my parents, and I love that feature because it has gotten rid of that awkward experience that one usually has when they're texting their parents for money. Now I can just send the request, they'll know how much I want, and I can even send a GIF just to be funny and to make it easier. The feature I enjoy the most with the M-PESA app is the fact that I can scan the QR code at the supermarket instead of having to read the till number. So I just scan and then I pay directly. On my phone, I can use my fingerprint to log in and out and even pay my bills or whatever I'm paying for using the app. I just use my fingerprint and automatically it pays. And another thing is that I can use the app offline. So that means I don't have to be in a place with Wi-Fi. I don't need to have bundles. Whether I'm on the go, in a job, in an Uber or in the supermarket, I can pay without having to use bundles or Wi-Fi. Yeah.
See, everything that you know to be about M-PESA has completely flipped. We have a bunch of new features, a bunch of new facilities that are going to make life significantly easier. And I thank you guys for joining us on this journey, for being able to launch this amazing new app. You've been tweeting us on the hashtag, the future of money. And because I'm a man of my word, I have a couple of people who now have got some really cool M-PESA hampers to their names. So if you are at Ken Collective on Twitter, at almavida_ke. If you're Sharon _Njeru, I am _Bet, Theo _Mwangi, Jug, Texawa, Kamaita, and Shiko _MSA. All right, so if you say your name on the screen, there's an M-PESA hamper with your name on it. Just get in touch with Bake and we'll be able to figure out how to get it to you. So thank you very much for your time and for your attention. Go forth now. We're going to ask you guys to download the app, join a few million people already enjoying the services of it. And of course, if you happen to be one of the lucky ones, there's probably some data or even some airtime not even ATM actually, it's actually money, cash money. There's 500 bob in it for you if you're the 10th, every other 10th person. So jump in there, download the app. It's an amazing app. It does things. It has solved quite a number of the problems we've had with M-PESA before and begins to open a chapter to a whole new future for mobile money. I've been your host, Samuel Mbogwa, aka Bug79. Catch me on the platforms. Send me M-PESA. I have a QR code here somewhere. Where's my QR code? I'll show you. I'll send you the QR code because they did a good job. Thank you guys, man. Have a lovely evening and peace out.
The future of money is simple, like unlocking possibilities with a smile. And having the world in the palm of your hand. It's the ability to touch many lives at the same time and turn your dreams into reality. It's forgetting and still remembering. Simple is having everything that you love in one place. From the ticket to your next meal, to your ticket to the next holiday. It's an easy way to ask for a boost when you're low. And keeping track of everything on the go. The future of money is simple, and it's here. Download the new M-PESA app today.